and welcome.
You are watching Beyond Breaking News.
Where the news is of the people,
For the people,
but by the youth.
I am Vajay Devansh.
And I am YJ Ashpit, and we will be your host for this bulletin.
From national to international, from health to technology, let's find out what's making news this week.
But before we begin, let's take a quick look at the headlines.
UK calls for early general election.
New banking rules implemented in India.
And World No Tobacco Day. UK has been in the news for some time now. News of Brexit hogged headlines not only in Europe but all over the world.
And now, the British Prime Minister's proposal to hold an early general election is grabbing world attention.
After a lengthy debate, the UK Parliament voted in favour of the early elections.
YJ's Kashish and Girik bring us the details.
Last month, the British Prime Minister, Mrs. Theresa May, formally triggered the two-year procedure for leaving the European Union, setting March 2019 the deadline for departure.
Although she had assured the country that the election could not be called before 2020, she wants parliamentary support as Brexit negotiations are expected to be difficult.
UK will now go to the polls on 8th of June. What does Brexit mean for Britain's economy? The Brexit victory sent economic shockwaves through global markets, and Britain lost its top AAA credit rating. But the Bank of England cut interest rates and took other emergency steps to stop the UK from slipping into a recession.
If UK slips into a recession, foreign companies will be less likely to invest there and could relocate their headquarters out of UK.
What will happen to immigration when Britain leaves the European Union? Brexiters have argued that Britain is now free to take back control of its borders in order to curb immigration and increase security. The UK will no longer have to accept free movement of people from Europe because it is preparing to leave the EU's single market.
A large number of the immigrant population have already started the process of moving out of Britain, saying they no longer feel safe. The number of EU-born workers in the UK fell by about 50,000 in the last quarter of 2016 alone.
If Prime Minister Theresa May's Conservative Party wins a majority, Mrs. May would not be required to call for another general elections until the year 2022.
Opposition party leaders are also campaigning for a referendum on Brexit. Former British PM Tony Blair is all set to return to politics with the anti-Brexit movement.
8th of June will reveal if the people of Britain are in support of all the events that have led them to this movement, especially Brexit. This is YJ Kashish.
And this is Vijay Girik with camera person and more, signing off for Beyond Breaking News.
Our next story is about something which affects each and every one of us.
After demonetization, India is waking up to many changes in its financial and banking sectors.
What are these changes? Will they impact everyone? Is anyone exempt?
YJ's Dharam and Shubham bring us the answers to all those questions.
Last year, demonetization has gave our country a nudge towards cashless economy.
In a bid to push a people in the cashless transaction, the major private banks like ICICI, HDFC and Axis Bank has reintroduced the transactional charges.
HDFC Bank, ICICI Bank and Axis Bank are now charging rupees 150 for per transaction and cash deposit and for withdrawal at the branch beyond for free transaction in a month.
These banks will also charge if the monthly average balance is not maintained by the account holder. This would apply to savings as well as salary accounts effective from March 1.
The rates being fined in case the MAB is not maintained differs in metropolitan, urban and rural regions. The HDFC Bank would also cap the third-party cash transactions at Rs 25,000 per day. Is anyone exempt from all the mentioned charges? Yes. Minor account holder and senior citizen are free from all their additional charges.
Along with the private banks, SBI too announced the similar charges which came into effect this April.
Be alert, be aware, be a better plan. There are 4 free transactions. On this note, this is YJ Dharam.
And this is YJ Shubham with camera person Raj signing off for Beyond Breaking News.
मेरे हिसाब से तो ये बिल्कुल गलत है क्योंकि अपने ही पैसों के लिए हमें पेनल्टी देनी पड़ेगी. इट्स नॉट फेयर.
I'm aware of the rules taken, and it is a good initiative by the Government of India.
No, I'm not aware of these transaction fees and penalties.
Yeah, charging money after a few transactions, that is not fair enough. I think the banks need to relook into their decision. The government should specially give them the instructions to all the banks.
World No Tobacco Day is observed on May 31 every year.
We all know the harmful effects of tobacco use, but have we ever given a thought to what it cost the country towards treating its resulting diseases?
Vijay, Sajal and Hitesh bring us this thought-provoking story.
Every year, on 31st May, the World Health Organization and their partners mark the World No Tobacco Day. It is that day to spread awareness about its harmful effects.
Tobacco advertisements have been banned in India since 1995, and currently every TV channel carries statutory warning about tobacco use.
The theme for World No Tobacco Day 2017 is Tobacco, a Threat to Development.
This is a macro outlook. Diseases caused by tobacco use are broadly classified into respiratory diseases, cardiovascular diseases, tuberculosis, and cancer.
In a report titled Economic Burden of Tobacco-Related Diseases in India, it reveals that the Indian government spends millions of rupees in the treatment and prevention of these diseases. Cardiovascular diseases treatment is the highest at rupees 3600 crores. Treatment of respiratory diseases costs 2800 crores. TB treatment costs 2300 crores and cancers 1400 crores. Let us make it micro because it is a day which is important to governments and policy makers, but it is also important to you, me and all of us. Let's look into our own families and close friends. Do you know anybody in your family or close friend circle who smokes or uses tobacco?
No, there is no person in my family who uses a smoke or tobacco, and I feel nobody should use it in his life.
I have a few family friends who smoke, and all I try to tell them is if they're not willing to quit it for their own lives, then they should quit it for someone who loves them, who cares for their lives more than they actually do. So that is all. I try to make them realize how much their life is important, not only to their own selves, but to their family, friends who love them, to all those people.
Not in my family, but I do have a few close friends who are addicted to tobacco, who do smoke. And it feels bad looking at them, looking at their respiratory ailments. So yes, it is an addiction which we need to get rid of. How do I dissuade them? I tell them about the impact and consequences of consuming tobacco. I tell them about the impact on not only the chain smoker, but also the passive smokers, the family members, because of their smoking habits. And of course, I do recommend them a few measures, like we have Nicotex available in the market, which can help them get rid of that habit.
Actually, मेरे घर में कोई smoke और drink भी नहीं करता है, so इससे सब दूर है.
Yeah, there are some friends of mine who used to do smoking and use tobacco. I think the best way to make them aware, that is to suggest them not only they harm themselves, they also harm their surrounding. So they should to avoid this kind of things.
Yeah, one of my distinct relatives, he smokes. I try to dissuade him by telling him that how it affects not only him but also his family.
George Bernard Shaw said, "A cigarette is a pinch of tobacco rolled in paper with fire at one end and a fool at the other."
Yet, how many of us allow our loved ones to smoke or to use tobacco? If we love them, we need to stop them. It is as simple as that.
On this note, this is Vijay Hitesh.
And this is Vijay Sajal.
With cameraman Harshit signing off for Beyond Breaking News.
With that, it's time for a short break.
Don't go away, we will be right back.
Coming up, staying healthy in summers.
Keep watching
Beyond Breaking News.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तू जिए हजारों साल, ये मेरी है आरज़ू। हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू सुनीता, हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू।
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday to you.
Welcome back. We are going to welcome you with a question. Are you ready?
When you hear the word summer vacations, what comes to your mind?
Holidays, food, games, TV, friends, and enjoyment. Yes, it's a long list, but it also includes falling sick, right?
Vijay, Ritzika and Vedant tell us what to do so that we
don't fall sick.
Summer means heat, sweat, upset stomach, inactivity.
All that leads to irritation, and irritation makes us
scream. Once we explain the ABC of scream, summer, you all will want to follow our lead.
So, we are going to take the letters in scream and rearrange them into something positive for summer. Let's start with the letter S. S is for sun protection. Use sunscreen that has SPF 30 or higher with UVA and UVB ray protection. Apply liberally to all exposed skin at least 15 minutes before you plan to step outdoors.
C could be for common sense, but in this case, let's use it for cotton. C is for cottons. Light colors reflect, dark colors absorb. So the lighter and looser they are, the better you will feel. Cotton and linen fabrics are cool and comfortable. Avoid synthetic fabrics as much as possible.
It was so difficult to come up with an R. The word just kept running away from us till we hit upon the word running. R is for right way to exercise. Seriously, you can't use summer as an excuse to not exercise. If you go for a run outdoors, go early morning, late evening, or where there is plenty of shade.
So the next letter is E. We are free. No school. At home all day. So we eat. E is for eat fresh. Eating fresh fruits and vegetables is one of the simplest ways to reduce the heat from your body.
The next letter was a no-brainer. A is for aqua. This summer, you need to cut down the solids and increase your liquid intake. Drink enough water. Carry a bottle of water when outdoors. Coconut water, vegetable and fruit juices are a good idea too. Keep yourself adequately hydrated.
And the last letter, you all will agree, is for something a lot of us ignore. M is for medical alertness. Avoid being outdoors during the hottest hours of the day, that is 12 noon to 3 p.m. Avoid working intensively outdoors during this time. If you happen to be with or come across someone who is going through a stroke, immediately take them to a cool place and hydrate them.
So, are you going to let the weather dictate terms for your life? What you're gonna do? S-C-R-E-A-M. Scream! On that note, this is YJ Vedant.
And this is YJ Ritsira with camera person Kashish signing off for Beyond Breaking News.
Our next story is about hard work, some wins and some losses.
Yes, and it is also about victory and reaching one's career best rankings.
Which sport are we talking about? Who is this super achiever? What has her career graph been like?
Vijay, Harshit and Anmol bring us the details of how PV Sandhu became world number 2.
The Indian Open Super Series saw the country's favourite badminton player score a decisive win over her nemesis of the Olympic Games.
Yes, PV Sindhu defeated Caroline Mary in straight sets to clinch the title. This win earned her 9,200 points in the Badminton World Federation World Rankings. Add this to the 71,599 points she has already accumulated with 15 title wins.
PV Sindhu has now become the world's number 2 badminton women's singles player. Let's take a look at her career graph.
The world sat up and took notice when PV Sindhu broke into the top 20 of the BWF World Ranking in September 2012 at the age of 17.
In 2013, she became the first ever Indian women's singles player to win a medal at the Badminton World Championships.
In 2014, PV Sindhu reached the semi-final stage of 2014 Commonwealth Games.
In 2015, she reached her maiden final of a Super Series event at the Denmark Open but lost at her finals. She, however, won her third successive women's singles title at the Macau Open Grand Prix Gold.
Her silver medal win in the women's singles event of the 2016 Summer Olympics made her the first Indian shuttler to reach the final of an Olympics badminton event and the youngest Indian to make a podium finish in an individual event at the Olympics.
As a doubles player, she has 9 wins and 8 losses, and as a singles player,
Well, out of 280 matches she played, she lost only 82 and won 191 matches. This win at the Indian Open Super Series has made her the world number 2 player. We hope that it won't be long before she becomes world number 1. On this note, this is YJ Harshit.
and this is why the Anmol with camera person Kashish signing off for
Beyond Breaking News.
This brings us to the last story of this bulletin, which means it is time for some entertainment.
We all have our favorite actors, favorite songs, and even favorite film industries, Hollywood, Tollywood, and Bollywood.
This story takes you straight to Hollywood and tells you about some upcoming movies of 2017.
YJs, Diksha, and Manav bring us the list.
Watch and enjoy.
Lights, camera, action are the words that filmmakers live by. Each scene, each dialogue, each character carefully created.
And we, the audience, just lap it up. Regional, Hindi, and even English films.
Watching movies with friends and family is like just the best ever.
So we decided to help you plan your Hollywood movie calendar for 2017.
My dear Belle, you're so ahead of your time. This is a small village.
You are the most gorgeous thing I've ever seen.
Already seen a couple of the big releases like Beauty and the Beast and Logan, which released in March-April this year.
Very much like you.
The feelings disappear.
In May, we will get to see some of our favorite franchises. Jack Sparrow is back in Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales.
We have to find it.
Alien Covenant, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Terminator Genesis 2 are other movies to look out for in May.
My whole life I prepared my son to lead humanity in the fight against the machines.
Vacations are still on and June will not disappoint us. One new production from the house of Marvel and one franchise. Wonder Woman and yet another Transformers movie. The Last Night 2 is due in June.
Can't do this! School has started, but these three are a must-watch. Independence Day 3, Spider-Man Homecoming, and War for the Planet of the Apes are all set to release in July.
It will be a planet of apes.
Wow! I think apart from Wonder Woman, all are sequels. Hey, did we forget to mention the 8th edition of Fast and Furious?
But wait, the list is not over. Thor is set for a November release. Star Wars and Jumanji will entertain us in December.
And all these were just the icing on the cake. We are going to start compiling the next list. Till then, this is YJ Diksha.
And this is YJ Manav with camera person Dharam signing off for Beyond Breaking News.
On that note, we come to the end of this bulletin.
This is YJ Ashpreet.
And this is YJ Devansh signing off for Beyond Breaking News, where the news is of the people,
for the people,
but by the youth. So goodbye and take care.
In a page to post
Tobacco advertisements have been banned in India since 1995 and currently every TV channel carries statutory about.
Every year, on 31st May, the World Health Organization and their partners mark the No.
We decided to help you plan your Hollywood movie calendar for 2000.
Tony Blair is all set to return to politics.
Yes, Pink is indeed defeated. Carolina Mann is straight sets to clinch the title.
Hello and welcome.
You are watching Beyond Breaking News,
where the news is of the people,
for the people,
but by the youth.
With that, it's time for a short break.
Don't go, we will be back.
It's time for for a short break.
Don't go away, we will be back right back.
World No Tobacco Day is observed on May 31 every year.
We all know the harmful effects of tobacco.
Tobacco.